Welcome back to the Real AF TV podcast, a show about fishing and random takes from the 10,000 lakes. We're back from the break, and we are going to talk about South Park. We're talking about fishing because that's what we do in the first part. We're talking about fishing rods specifically, and in South Park, you do not need fishing rods. You just need explosives.
Yeah.
I love that episode. Have you seen that episode when the boys go out fishing?
Yeah, that's with
Jimbo and
Jimbo and God. I was
Ned.
trying to think of Ned. I had Jimbo in my head.
It's coming right for us.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. That we are not going to talk about fishing in South Park. I just wanted to connect the two parts. The reason why I wanted to talk about South Park is because this is one of my favorite things. This is my fucking shit, dude. I have all of the ones that are available on Blu-ray. I've watched every episode except for the pandemic episode. Don't come at me, bro. That's a different story. But the reason for that, it all boils down to, is because I don't have HBO Max. My bad. They took them off Hulu now, and it is available on South Park Studios. But so I just haven't got around to it because it's not on my Apple TV to just fucking pop on and have some beers and get through the 2 episodes. But the reason why I brought up HBO Max is because that is pretty much the motivation behind Matt and Trey getting $900 million for South Park. That's not a buyout. That is the sum of money they got paid to continue making South Park for 6 more seasons and 14 movies. I did that in quotes. That doesn't include the production. That's just how much Matt and Trey got.
14 movies?
14 movies. Yes, I will get into that in a second. 6 seasons, 14 movies. Matt and Trey got paid $900 million. Again, not a buyout. This is not a Viacom completely owned South Park now. No, this is just those guys' payday. That's their check. That's their paycheck to keep doing South Park. It's not production money. That's what I read. I read that that's not production costs, which means that the network still has to pay them to produce all of this shit. So it's like worth over $1 billion.
That's so dope, though.
Isn't that fucking awesome, dude?
That is.
God, I remember when we went to Team America together.
Yes.
Being Matt and Trey fans, just in general, and me and you, we went to the Team America movie, and God, we laughed our fucking asses off, dude.
There's so many little things.
The little stuff
in the movie that just like, I don't know if there's a lot of people that got some of the subtle things.
I know. I agree because
so much.
Right, being Matt and Trey fans, and you know, you may not be such Matt and Trey fan recently, but then me and you were really big Matt and Trey fans.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
It's not that I'm not a fan. It's just it's hard to watch it now.
Yeah, there's just so much shit.
Well, with my son, there's so much stuff. I don't have a lot of time. And when I do get time, like when he's around, it's not something that I can listen or like watch with him close. Because he's just in such a like impressionable stage.
Absorbed
that
mode.
I don't need him walking around saying that stuff.
Right. Exactly. And you know, to talk about Team America for a while is like that was their movie. Like they had almost everything to do with that movie, and you knew their sense of humor, even, you know, outside of South Park, or just how they conducted themselves. And that's how you pick up on the little shit, because the puppets would do fucking weird shit. And you know, those guys were just laughing their asses off and like, keep that in, because that's fucking funny.
Yeah. Well, that's people like the Matt Damon thing, dude.
Right. Tell the Matt Damon story, because that's the fucking best. That's how you know the little subtleties of the puppets doing weird, goofy shit. is their humor just staying in there. They're just like, that's fucking funny. Keep it in there.
Right, exactly. Because
Tell the Matt Damon story.
With Matt Damon, so they had like the Film Actors Guild in or FAG.
Yep.
they, they had that in the
Team America.
movie.
They're
Team
basically
America.
a character. Like Film Actors
Right.
Guild is
Yes.
basically a character in the movie.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of
Right.
people, but it's like a character in the film.
So they have all these people that they're making fun of, and they actually like Matt Damon. So they didn't want to like make fun of him like super hard, like they went at him. But when they made the Matt Damon like little marionette, it looked so not like him that in that movie, like it wasn't part of the script, but it became this awesome thing where he's just like Matt Damon because he just looks so off
that they were just like, that's all he can do.
They're just like, look at how dumb he looks. And then they throw it around. They're just like, maybe he should just say his name all stupid. And it's one of my favorite parts of the whole movie. And it was completely like incidental. Like they weren't trying to make that happen, but it happened. And then they're like, fucking keep it. We're definitely putting that in.
It's so goddamn funny. Oh fuck, it's so good. Because like who puts all this money into a movie, doesn't even write a character in. They're just like, I don't know, we'll just have the Matt Damon character just sit in the back, and you see him, they get him.
Right.
And you can just see the puppeteers and Matt and Trey, they're doing voices and they're just riffing, and they're like, oh fuck, that's going in. That's fucking in there.
Yeah. And I think it was kind of the same thing with like the sex scene. They're like, let's try it. And it didn't, like, it looks stupid. And they're like, that's perfect. Do the best job you can. We're just going to have it look super awkward.
Yes.
And fun fact, I'm pretty sure you know, but anybody that's not aware of this either, that's the largest scale marionette movie that's ever been produced ever. Nobody's ever done anything even close to that. It is the biggest,
never ever.
Yeah, the biggest of all time. They had they had like so many different people on booms running all these different marionettes at once. There's like no CG in that movie at all.
All those faces are little mechanical, like every puppet's face is little mechanical like they were running them from remote locations. Like they had remote mechanical faces behind the marionette face. Like,
look into the background of that movie if you want to have your mind blown, because all the different things too, like everything's a scale that, like, the one guy's belt buckle's a fucking quarter. When they go to like the like Middle Eastern stuff, that's all like spray painted like colanders and cheese graters and shit. Hanging, like all
when they go
lanterns.
to the bar, when they're doing the bar pool scene of like they're basically back at Team America headquarters and they're just playing pool and they just got done and they're like having a good time, and all of those bottles are real mini one-shot liquor bottles.
Yeah.
It just so happens that they're the perfect scale to go with the marionettes.
Yes.
It's so fucking awesome.
It is. There's so much cool stuff like that to that movie.
Yeah, it really, and the reason why I started with that is because I read an interview with Matt, and he's just like, yeah, I don't know, we're super rich. Like, we were already rich. And so we just now have fuck you money.
Right.
I'm like, fuck yes,
that's
dude.
so dope.
Because he's talking about how they've built all this other shit already. Like, South Park is the reason why they're able to do the Book of Mormon, and one of the best fucking, like, it's one of the most successful musicals of all like, I don't know if I maybe I'm stepping out of line saying all time, but it's a very successful musical. Their Team America, that was their shit. They basically they are the reason that movie existed. Like, they had so much invested in it in multiple ways. And he basically just said, like, yeah. Like, we now are just going to invest this money. Like, I don't know what other people do when they get this rich, but that's not me and Trey. He's just like, we take things like this and we just turn it into other stuff. Like, this is now investing money, and we have all these other things we're already doing. Like, they have a deep fake studio. Did you know this?
Yes.
Sassy Justice.
I
Look up Sassy Justice on YouTube.
Yeah, because isn't that, what the hell is it? Oh, it's something. There was some clip that I think I sent you, and you were like, "Yeah, that's Matt and Trey's like deep fake thing," and I didn't even know it was.
Yeah, that's Sassy Justice.
Yeah,
you just saw it in a different. Go to YouTube and look up Sassy Justice. Like, that's the fucking channel, and it's deep fakes, dude. You know the this is how it all ties together. You know the Al Gore Man Bear Pig, super cereal, you guys.
Yeah,
they did a deep fake with Al Gore.
Yeah,
and they gave him that voice, so it looks like Al Gore, but it's Al Gore, like real looking fucking Al Gore. Yeah, and he's just like, so this guy is super cereal, and it's a real looking Al Gore. Right. It's so goddamn funny.
That's awesome.
That you don't get if you're not a South Park fan.
Right.
But they don't care. They built a fucking deep fake studio, which cost tons of money, and they just put it on YouTube.
My favorite part of that whole thing is when he exits. He's got a cape. He exits. Oh.
I guess they're working on a whole movie, even like a whole deep fake movie, because I read about their studio that they built for that YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding you. They built a deep fake studio. They spent tons of money on it. Like, he said that in the article.
Dude, they must have had like a whole bunch of shit like in the can, like ready for them to sign a deal for like 14 movies. They must have just been like, no, is there more to it? Like,
it's all new. Okay, so yeah, sorry. Okay, I'll get off of like, yeah, they got $900 million and they're gonna invest and make a bunch of new shit. We'll get into more of that. We'll get back to South Park now, which is what this whole topic's supposed to be.
Right.
I mean, damn near 30 years of South Park, dude. It's fucking crazy. It blows my mind to think about, and I think about it more often than you might think, because I don't have a lot of stable things in my life. Oh, let's not get emotional. So the 14 movies, there's 14 movies set in the South Park universe is what it is.
Holy shit, dude. I was totally thinking that there was like, like Basketball 2.
right. Which, by the way, is not their movie. That's fucking, that was them getting their acting chops on.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Basketball 2, why wouldn't they do it, right? They have the money. But no, this is 6 seasons of South Park and 14 movies for Paramount Plus. Because these guys in 2007, them and their lawyer, they signed an agreement that is still in place today. They get 50% of all, and this is a quote, non-TV rights. Streaming is not included on that. So everything that's on the internet, they get 50% of the profits. So not only did they get $900 million, they have to now make 6 seasons and 14 movies. 14 movies for a streaming service where they're 50% owners of the revenue that comes in from that. Dude. Fuck yes, dude. These guys killing it.
They're going to be like some of the richest people. Like, they're going to be so much more wealthy than all these big time actors pretty soon.
For sure.
Like, if not already.
Sure. Yeah. Right. Yeah. If not already, just with this deal.
That's insane.
And so these 14 movies in the Paramount universe, so there was none of this in there, but just being a 20 some year fan of South Park, dude, they make entire seasons now that are essentially movies. Like Taggarty Farms. That's what they called the last season of South Park. They just fucking like changed the name of South Park to Taggarty Farms, and they just made an entire episode about Randy on a weed farm. Entire season about Randy on a weed farm.
Really? I gotta watch. Man, I have not watched recently. I didn't see any of that season at all.
So good.
That's
it's
awesome.
So fucking funny. And so to me, what this is saying is like, yeah, we're gonna do our 10 episodes a season, but instead of making the 3-episode links, because they do that often. You've seen it before with like you may have seen it. Maybe I'm jumping too far ahead, but remember when they did the the 2020 yes, that one. That's a mini movie, right? Because it runs like 2-3 episodes. So you just have to think about, I'm just thinking like, yeah, they're just gonna do that. They're already doing that inside of South Park. So now they're just gonna spin it off 14 times. Like, that's a shitload of work, but it's just gonna be that. I just can't see it any other way. I mean, what was the last? Did you play one of the games? Any of the games?
Yes, I played them all. Yes. The games are fantastic.
The Fractured But Whole is literally an attachment. Like, you can see it interwoven in the season.
Really?
Before it came out. Oh, dude. You watch, and I'm going to just make a guess, but you watch like season 19 and you play the Fractured But Whole. Mm-hmm. They fucking intertwine. So the Fractured But Whole would be the movie on Paramount Plus, and the season would be the season. Like, they're already fucking doing it, man. They're just getting paid to do it now.
Also, like, we've talked about video games on here. For anybody that hasn't played those games, they're fantastic games too.
God,
they're so good. Like,
fucking so good.
The battle setup and like their turn-based like RPG where you can level up your characters and everything, and
they're
so
full
good.
on RPGs. Yeah. I mean, they're RPGs. Like, there's no dancing around.
Yeah, they're real RPGs. It's not like it's a South Park game where they tried to sprinkle in an RPG. It's a legit RPG that's also South Park. They're so good. The first time I played the one, and they're so fucking smart too. Like, you have like a cardboard sword, and then you slap a sticker on it, and then that's like firepower, because it's like it's like all the kids' imagination, but like but it still works. Like you're
Yeah, like when you set a bomb on fire, he still's on fire. He's still like, god damn it.
Right.
And he sits there and burns for a little while.
Yeah.
But yes, it's the kid's imagination by just sticking a fire sticker on his cardboard sword. It's it's beautiful.
And there's so much, like, that's just a very small amount. There's so much of that shit. And it's all it's all so funny. Like,
and it looks like an episode. I played it on Switch, dude. I played it on Nintendo Switch, which is the weakest system out there right now. I mean, graphic processor wise, right? There's no other system out there that is that underpowered in comparison. Like a PS4, a PS5, right? Of course, they can render a fucking South Park episode in real time. They're huge.
Right. Yep.
I played it on Switch again for my second or third time. Or fourth. I love them. And it still looks like an episode. It looks like you're playing a South Park episode, a season of South Park.
Right.
It's so good. Oh, shit, dude. Check it out.
What you got?
Those are my collector's editions right there.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, those are my collector's editions of South Park, Fractured But Whole, and Stick of Truth. They're behind me.
So good.
Yeah, they're so good. And they actually have more games coming out. Matt said they're working on a 3D game, which I'm just like, I didn't ask for that. I'm not sure I want that, because I just want it to stay South Park. But I'm definitely open to the idea. Did you play them?
The 3D
when they're on
ones?
PlayStation and N64? Yeah.
Yeah, those are the idea of it was cool. Like, I remember that you could like throw snowballs, and then you could pee on them and make yellow snowballs. It was stuff like that.
Or if you were playing split screen, you'd shoot the cow gun, and the other one would have the cow's butt on the screen.
Yep. Yeah. So there was like fun stuff like that, but it was nothing like the games now.
You're right, because those weren't that solid. Those games weren't that solid.
It was like a slightly open world, like first person shooter, and it was kind of confusing on what you were doing.
Yeah.
From what I remembered, and it just like,
I have their cart game.
It was like the first couple. It was like the first couple of seasons, or like the first season of South Park. Like,
yeah,
the comedy and stuff wasn't bad, but like it was like construction paper, it wasn't that great looking,
right. Yep, for sure,
So
for
yeah,
sure. It wasn't what
3D.
South Park is. It hadn't established itself as the South Park that we know today. It
Right.
hadn't earned its keep to just do whatever the fuck it wanted yet.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Well, and just a 3D video game, it wasn't just not what that should have been. What they are now is what they should have been. And not
Right.
saying a 3D video game won't be good here. I'm assuming that with all their success and knowledge, that this one is something to behold,
Right.
not versus the first one where it felt like there was just kind of like put something out with our name on it,
Yeah, that cheap money grab skin, like skin a game and just sell it because it's hot right now. Yeah.
Yep. Or like they had I feel like maybe they had a decent idea, but like not the game developers to help them.
Yeah, not enough time to flesh out the game.
Right.
Play. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And with these 14 movies, to get back to the 14 movies they have to make for Paramount Plus, is I wonder, because you have to remember the first movie coming out, right?
I love the first movie so much. That's the one I'm the scaredest about playing around my son. Because there's so much stuff like I'm pretty sure my mom.
Poo and the poo is cold.
Yeah,
it was a musical.
That one doesn't scare me. It's like the shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker. I don't need my son saying that stuff. You don't need your sleep.
He's just gonna go to
just
daycare
fuck your
and
uncle all day long.
Goes to daycare, just call some kid an Uncle Fucker.
Right, Uncle Fucker. Like, I have been trying to give him some disses, like to throw back at these kids because they've been saying shit to him, but we haven't got to that part.
We haven't got to Uncle Fucker yet.
Yeah, because this is a little bit off topic, but since we brought it up, just real quick, he like said something about how the other kid told him to shut up, and he's like, "Shut up's not a nice thing to say." And for whatever reason, he was telling me that the other kid was like, "You're rude." And then, like, that's not how you use that, but 3-year-olds, whatever. And he said, "You're rude." And I told him, if he says that again, you say, "That wasn't rude. This is rude. You smell like feet."
Yeah, dude.
I want to hear that diss happen and
in real time.
And to have, like, the other, like, preschool teachers just be like, oh shit.
It's like, what else do you say to that?
Right. And that kid would just be like,
No, I don't.
Yeah, like, it's not hardcore, it's not like I'm saying not gonna get him in trouble, but that's the kind of level we're playing with right now. I mean, it would shut that kid down for sure if he would, if that other kid was just like, "You're rude," and he's just like, "You don't eat or sleep or mow the lawn. You just fuck your uncle all day long." Everybody would just be like, "What in the fucking hell?
Whoa, dude! What is he? What? Where did that come from? Because that movie's so old now. People would be like, "Where? Who? How?"
Oh yeah, and it's like young ladies, like, mainly, that like watch him for the most part. So it's probably like
there's a real good chance they never seen it.
Right. And with the cancel culture and everything today, that's so much harsher than what some of these kids are saying. They just be like, "That 3-year-old just laid the harshest burn I've ever heard anybody say."
Ever. Oh my God. Okay. But so that movie turned into a musical. South Park's never really been a musical, and that movie was a musical. I actually read one time that Trey said, he's like, "I think that was a musical because I was sort of writing a musical." And, well, Book of Mormon, right?
Right.
That was sort of like the pent up musical writing energy, and just like they made South Park into a musical. It's not that South Park hasn't had a lot of music in it. I mean, fucking Chef, right? But the whole thing is like, I wonder if they will pull that, because they are going to be short movies. They're going to be like under 90 minutes or something like that, from what I read in this interview with Matt. So they are going to be sort of that 3 half-hour episodes smashed together. But I wonder, I'm really curious if they're going to do that. Because you remember the episode, or was it just one episode? I can't remember. But remember when they did the anime?
Yeah.
That shit was crazy. Fun, good times with weapons. And it's just like, I wonder if they'll do that again, because
that'd be like the whole movie.
Right. With South Park characters, because they have done that before. They also did the heavy metal episode where that was like all hand drawn. I read an article about that.
Really?
And then, yeah, it was really hand drawn. Like they honestly hired out like a Korean studio that still knew how to do hand animation.
That makes
and they
sense
hired it all out.
Get that look.
Right. You do it by actually doing it.
It looks exactly like heavy metal. And if, for those of you not familiar at home, there's a heavy metal movie that's like
that's what it's called. It's literally titled Heavy Metal.
Yeah, and it's like old school hand drawn stuff, and it's all about like girls in like weird outfits with giant tits, and
yep.
And then the whole South Park episode was like Kenny tripping on cat piss, going to the heavy metal universe.
Every time he tripped on cat piss, he would go into this hand-drawn universe.
Call it heavy metal. You got a one-way ticket to midnight. Isn't that the line?
Yep.
Call it heavy metal.
Yep. You might know your kids are cheesing if they say things like, dude, I'm cheesing. Dude. I'm cheesing my effing balls off.
That's right. That's what they call it. Getting the cat in the little thing and getting it to like get mad at another cat, and then it like sprays in your face. That's called cheesing. You might know your kids are cheesing if they say they're cheesing.
Right? It's the best. Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
That's so good to have that as an example for literally anything.
I know.
To have that be the PSA. To just be like, you might know your kids are cheesing if they say, dude, I'm cheesing my effing balls.
Right. Because when you'd go out and get high on some weed in high school, you'd come home and you'd be like, man, that was some dank weed. Where's the pizza? I'm super high.
Right. You might know
as your parents are sitting in the living room like,
right.
What?
Well, even still, like, you need a PSA for that.
I know.
Like your mom hears that, and then she's got to go to the like other parents. If my kid says that he's high, does that mean he's high? Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my god. Oh fuck. So South Park. Oh my god. I just love this fucking show. But well, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna stay on South Park for now, because these, like, all of this stuff, this 6 seasons and like the pandemic and all this stuff, the pandemic specials then that they've been doing and shit like that. It's like they're not coming out on traditional media anymore. Like I can't find the newest season of South Park on Blu-ray. I don't even know if there is a new one, because, well, fuck, I don't even know. Being a big South Park fan, it's all behind HBO. And I'm like, fuck, dude, it sucks. Because now I think I have to get HBO, because that's how dedicated I am to South Park. What, you have HBO?
Switch to AT&T. Yep, that's how I got it. They just give it to you. I didn't try to get it. I just have AT&T, and that was a surprise too. When we signed up for it, it was like something else. It was like AT&T TV, and like 2 months in, they're just like, hey, we're getting rid of whatever the fuck that was, and we signed a deal with HBO Max. You get HBO Max now. And I'm like, dope. We just get that? And then they're
Fuck
like,
yeah.
yeah, you get that. Plus, HBO Max is the one that gives you free movies. And you're just like, what the fuck? Like, I get to watch Suicide Squad right now.
Oh shit, that's right.
When other people have to go to the movie theater to watch it, and
Right.
all I do is have my cell phone carrier like anybody else
Just
would. I just
open it
happen to
up
have
and
AT&T,
right.
and I can just
Fuck.
yeah, it's dope. We
That's
watched the
so
new
sick,
Space
dude.
Jam movie, which
Oh yeah, tell me.
Braxton, my nephew, watches it this sometimes. I don't know if he will. Initially, I was like, that movie sucks. But it was only because I wasn't that far into it. The
Oh, okay.
first half where they were just trying to like have LeBron be an actor is kind of painful to watch. He can't act for shit. But the movie itself isn't that bad.
Oh, okay.
You get some nostalgia where they're in like
Sure.
this like universe, and there's a lot of different WB characters, and it's not just
Sure.
cartoons. It's like everything Warner Brothers has ever done. You can see
Oh,
like
Jesus.
Pennywise in the background and shit, and you're like, oh fuck, like look at, they're all here. So
Wow.
it's once they get into the actual basketball and stuff, that's not too bad because there are legitimate actors that make the movie a lot better. But LeBron, dude.
Stinker of an actor, huh?
Yeah, buddy,
That
you got enough money, dude. Stop.
that's actually what Matt said. Because of the pandemic and the lockdowns and like how California's handling everything and stuff like that, he did actually say, like, we were able to put out these specials, which are kind of a tie into like the 14 movies, like these pandemic specials would qualify as that. They weren't able to turn them because if you remember the time, and I'm bringing us back to, so basically what Matt said is he's like, if we were doing normal episodes of South Park right now, we were able to do them the way we normally do, where we just are all in one space, stacked on top of each other, working for 12 hours on end, 30, 20 hours on end to kick out an episode as fast as possible. We'd be doing a Space Jam episode. I could tell you that right now. Like, that's what he said in the episode.
Okay,
And
yeah.
just because of like, I'm sure you that
Right.
probably you get it. I'm sure you get it. People who have
Yeah.
seen it, they get that. Me, I'm just like, yeah, I mean, probably the references. I don't know, because
Well, yeah,
they're fan like us. This is the age. Like, the reason why Space Jam is being remade is because we're nostalgic about the original Space Jam. And so you get the new Jordan, right? And you put him in
right.
a movie and you put him with these WB characters because WB's struggling because they can't make a good fucking DC movie. And here you go. Money grab.
Yep.
Easy. And that's what South Park would do. They would fucking make fun of that. I'm sure they would.
Yeah,
And
and
oh, go ahead.
well, I was gonna say like all you really need to know is like towards the end, it got me with the like WB stuff, and it wasn't that bad. If you go look at any of the scores, like all the critics are like, "Blah." But all like the viewers, like Rotten Tomatoes is like 30 some percent. I think what I want to say it was like 23% of critics
Okay.
liked it, which is
Yep.
fucking terrible. But like
That's
80%
bad.
of viewers,
Oh, we're
where
like,
they're just like,
so
yeah,
good.
well, like I don't think they said it. Like you probably don't have to say it's good. You're just like, yeah, I tell people to watch it because you
Sure.
forgot about how shitty the beginning was because the end of it kind of came on strong.
Came along and kind of
Yeah,
saved.
but it's bad acting. There's definitely
Right.
some. I mean, ugh, yeah. I would have loved to
Right.
see
Right.
what they do about it because yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'll make fun of it.
Right. And that's what they would do, but they're just not making episodes that rapidly right now because they're not making them the same way. You remember when they made the election episode and it literally came out the next day?
Yeah, it's so
Like, they
insane.
made the episode and then it airs Wednesday night. The election's Tuesday night. And they had accurate information in the episode. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah,
That is amazing.
do you remember what the title of that like little documentary was that
Oh,
showed?
Are you talking about the mini doc of South Park? Like when
Yes.
because they did a mini documentary about how South Park is able to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like South Park 24 hours or something like that.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right. Something like
Yep.
that. Yeah.
I'll look it up actually.
Yeah.
I'll be able to figure it out here.
Cuz that is like South Park in itself, if people aren't familiar, is such a feat to be able to pull off what they pull off, and that documentary shows you exactly how they're pulling it off. And
Yes.
it's crazy. Like
Mm-hmm.
they are innovators, groundbreakers in their field for sure, for more than one reason. I mean, and they do it in a lot of stuff. You got the marionettes, and they're putting out stuff where other people, like other shows, other producers and stuff, are like,
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, people are literally blown away by what Matt and Trey are able to pull off. And it's not that
Yeah.
it's not just them, but like
Oh, it's
you have
their
to
whole
remember
team.
they're the
Yeah.
leaders, right?
Right.
They're the leaders. They're the people who are, getting the funds, and they're the people who are doing the voices, and they're the main creative forces behind this shit. It's called 6 days to air because that's what they do.
Yeah.
They make an episode every 6 days.
Yes.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
They
And
don't have them done ahead of time.
right.
It's
And
fucking crazy, dude.
that's all like 3D animated. And it looks 2D, but
Mhm.
it's all 3D animated.
Mhm.
You have them coming up with ideas, animators getting all that stuff done. Everything gets done in that amount
In
of time.
6 days.
New characters are created in that
Yep.
amount of time.
The
Like,
writing, the voiceovers, the animation, the editing. 6 days. Fucking
6.
wild. And nobody bitches about it. Like, you don't ever hear Matt and Trey are shitty for making us work this quickly. It's like everybody knows what they signed up for.
Right.
And they kick it out. It's so nuts. So
yeah,
it's amazing. And they just said, like Matt just basically said, yeah, we're just gonna keep doing shit like that because now we have $900 million.
right. We'll just pay everybody to stay in a bubble.
Yeah, probably. I mean, who knows? They could. The thing that I wanted to end with is Matt kind of went on he went on a little bit and said a little hint of what they're going to do, saying, yeah, we're going to invest this, like, how do you think that we did Book of Mormon? I mean, we took South Park money and we turned it into a musical that we've been working on for a very long time. And somewhere deep down, me and Trey are still indie film developers. Like, he just basically said, yeah, we have fuck you money, but we're still deep down, we're hungry. Like, we'll never let that go. We'll never let go. Yeah. And I was so pumped to hear that. And he said they have the deepfake movie. So they already have the deepfake studio. So they're working on a deepfake movie. He said that they're working on a horror movie, dude.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't let that one go. I figured we have to end on Matt and Trey are seriously working on a horror movie. Who knows when it's going to come out?
Or what it's going to be. I'm excited.
Yeah. That was the crazy thing that blew my mind. Because even if you think about to the original one, which I've never seen all of it, but the Cannibal, the musical.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. It's fucking weird.
Yeah. So, yeah, kind of goofy. Like, there was Orgasmo, still a comedy. Book of Mormon, still a comedy. Like, if they're making a real deal horror movie, what are they gonna do, man? You're the horror movie guy.
Dude, that's why I was like, I don't know. Like, there's some movies that have tried to do like in this whole realm of like where there's a little bit of comedy in it, but none of those have been really good.
What is that movie, Tucker versus something or whatever? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Tucker versus, is it like The World?
Yeah, but it's like that horror movie where there's like these two rednecks in the woods and these kids are making it a big deal, and they keep just getting into accidents. The kids just keep getting into accidents because they think these rednecks are crazy. And the rednecks are like, why do these kids just keep killing themselves?
Oh, I don't think I've seen that then.
Really?
That name sounds familiar, but no. Oh, you know what a good one is like the Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. That's probably
Oh,
the
okay.
best like horror like comedy. Or Zombieland. Zombieland was really fucking good too, I guess.
Yeah,
So
but
if
I would never call that a horror movie. Would you?
mm, no, I suppose not. And
Yeah, that's a
the
thing.
Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse wasn't either. But like,
Okay.
I think
And
those would
this is
still
called, I
be.
got it now. It's Tucker and Dale versus Evil. And it's literally like their stereotypical five kids, one black guy, one hot chick, one hot dude, some other random person, some other two random people.
Right.
And they're out in the woods, and then there's just these two nice southern dudes, Tucker and Dale. They see him in the woods, and the whole time it's a comedy, but it's look it up. Look up Tucker and Dale versus Evil, anybody. And it looks like a horror movie, and it's not. It's a comedy. I don't know if that they're going to do that though, because Matt specifically said it's a horror movie. And so, what's this?
Yeah.
What is this one that you just mentioned that you're kind
That
of debating on?
Scout's Guide
Scout's Guide.
to the
Yeah.
Zombie Apocalypse.
Right.
I don't know if that is considered to be
Like an
in
actual
horror.
horror movie.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, it says horror / comedy.
Okay.
Because people do die. But yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like there's
So does Tucker. Yeah, Tucker and Dale's got a lot of blood in it, and it's just
have you seen that movie?
which one?
Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
You gotta watch. You gotta see the beginning. You'll
Okay.
you'll
Oh wait,
dig
is that
it.
the one is Blake?
Yeah,
Yeah. You said just look up the beginning, and I did. It's fucking
yeah.
awesome, dude.
The
So funny.
Black Widow baby.
Yeah, this is just getting down to that Iggy song. So
Mhm.
good. But anyways, yeah, I just had to end on the horror movie note as like something that you definitely got to keep an eye on, man.
I'm excited.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what it turns out to be and get your review, because if it's an actual horror movie, I'll probably watch it because it's Matt and Trey, such a huge fan. But I also don't think they're going to make it a comedy. Just because they're funny guys doesn't mean they can't do other shit. You know?
Right.
Like a musical is not a musical that's funny is a musical comedy, but it takes a different skill set to write a musical.
True.
You know?
Sorry, not to cut you off. I wanted to throw it out there that Zombieland 2, I just Googled that. And that is also comedy / horror. Where I agree with you, I wouldn't put it in the horror category, but that's what it ends up being. So maybe that's what we see coming down the pipe. But if they want to make it like 100% horror, I'm totally down too. Like,
yeah,
those guys are creative geniuses. And if that you want to make just a straight up horror movie, whatever.
Right.
Like, Key and Peele, what's his name? Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan.
Jordan is making
from Key and
like
Peele. Yep.
is making like remarkable horror movies that are legitimate just horror movies.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And they had a sketch comedy show.
Right.
You know,
right.
so
On Comedy Central.
Yes.
Like they that's where they got their success too.
Yeah,
Sure,
so I'm
sure.
down for whatever they come out with. I'll check it out for sure.
Fuck yeah, dude. To a future episode. Let's end on that note. Go to realaf.tv, REELAF.tv. That's where you can find all our shit. We're on Spotify. We're on iTunes. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on YouTube. Check us out everywhere. Go to realaf.tv/contact. Tim wanted to punch that up in the beginning. I'm going to punch it up in the end and say, come on, talk to us. Because if there's something you want us to talk about when it comes to fishing, we are fucking down for that. Don't forget, we got a Patreon, patreon.com/realaftv, REELAFTV. Tim, good fucking episode, man. I don't have anything else to plug. I'm just trying to get people to go to REELAF.tv so you can find all our shit with the social medias, whether it be the outlets that we put the podcast on, whether it be our Patreon. It's all there on realaf.tv.
Yeah.
Man.
And I got
come and
nothing
interact
else to
with us.
plug either, but I want to say, since we were touching on horror movies just now, this comes out on the Monday after this last Friday was Friday the 13th. So I hope you horror movie dudes and dudettes. Is that the thing? Whatever.
Yep, you're right.
I hope you fellers enjoyed your Friday the 13th marathon.
Oh, shit.
Because Jason's murking fools for sure somewhere out there. You can find it. There's always a marathon on Friday the 13th. AMC.
That's true. Probably on AMC.